What's up, guys? It's Brendan from Market Makers. Special midnight broadcast for you. I've been packing all day, watching the markets. The whole house is packed. As you guys know, I am moving this weekend down to South Florida, so I'm basically sitting on the bed making this video for you. So this is weird, not using a webcam. But guys, we need to recap today's events. There is a massive move incoming. Is this a further pump up in crypto and the equities, or is this leading to a massive bull trap? And we're going to look at our targets for potential reversals and see what we can decode in the marketplace. Quick recap in case you missed it today. Powell raised interest rates 75 basis points. Market already had that baked in. The equities ripped up. Bitcoin moved up. Will this last? That's what we got to determine in this video, okay? Now, tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, that GDP report comes out, guys. Atlanta Fed projects it to be negative. Keep in mind, the last 10 times in the U.S., when we had two negative quarters of GDP, the National Economic Research Board did rule that a recession, okay? So there's never been a time when we had these two negative economic quarters and it wasn't a recession. Powell said he doesn't see a recession because unemployment is too low. The Biden administration is out there marching around telling everybody it's not a recession. It can't be a recession. It's a growth slowdown because unemployment is too low. Well, we shall see, guys. Just keep in mind that crash in '08, it took 9 months for the government to say that it was a recession. And by that point, you missed most of the downfall if you are a trader. So don't wait for the government. Use your own common sense. Contracting GDP 2 quarters in a row. If we do get a negative print, it's a recession, my friends. So let's see what can happen here in the marketplace if and when we get that news tomorrow. If it is positive, guys, could be a big ripper up. But if it's negative, we can see a reversal. Let's start off with Bitcoin here on the weekly. Guys, these videos are brought to you by BITGET, where we trade all the cryptos. The link with our bonus is in the video description. And SimpleFX, where we trade all the commodities and the equities with our special double bonus, only available with our link up to $5,000. Check out the video description tutorial video there as well. Come trade with us on our Discord. The join button right underneath the video, 11,000 people on our server. And if you just want trade signals, check out the Telegram, link also in the video description. Looking at the weekly, guys, here's your key problem on the weekly. 7 weeks now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Working on this week here, you have been below the 200, 233. You haven't actually closed above the 200 yet. The 233 is still above you. So this is your key problem that you have to overcome. And if you don't overcome this, you got more downside coming in. But we need to go to the smaller time frames to really see this. Okay, so let's go to the daily. Looking at the daily, guys, we covered the volatility, and look how beautiful this is. What this is doing, you're bottling up here, just gorgeous, okay? And then look at this volatility expansion you can get. This is what I'm telling you, a massive move is incoming. So we got to look at this. Let's go ahead and turn this indicator off and see what we can see here. Turning that off, let's zoom in a little bit, laid out the fibs. Remember, on the daily, if we do get a big ripper up, if this GDP report comes in positive and we start rallying for the week, for the month, however long we're going to rally, my cap of where I have the market, guys, is basically 34K between the 200, 233 on the daily. Because if you can flip that, you're flipping it on every single time frame. That is bullish, okay? I do believe, obviously, clearly, the primary trend is down, so everything's bearish. This is a bear market rally until you can flip this. So that's my market cap right now for where you could potentially go to in a best case scenario. Now, what's more likely here, looking at this fib wave, is the 618 at 24,023. You're at the 0.5 right now at 23,390. Other things to look at here, if you do pump up to that 618, you are printing a gorgeous double top, okay? You already got that 618 once already, so you'd be printing a gorgeous double top where if you break that neckline and you have some velocity, you could be coming down, and your next key support level, if you lose that 17.5 that you already based on before, is going to be down here at like 15.5, okay? So that's an area you want to watch if you did end up printing a double top here on the daily time frame. You got some time for this, but let's see what happens with that GDP report. Let's look at the Ichi Cloud really quickly while we're here as well, and we'll jump to the 8-hour time frame. So looking at our Ichi, go ahead and throw that on here. You can see we are pumping right into the cloud. So again, the 618 makes sense. Guys, we keep pointing this out here on this channel, but you can see this resistance is getting very thin, and that really starts in late August, like August 23rd, 24th, in that area. So what I think the bias is, especially if this GDP is negative, is you're going to do something like this, okay? Make your double top, descend. You want to hold this range. Let's just say we hold this range, and then I think you're going to be looking to make some type of double bottom again, make your cup pattern higher up and punch through back here in this area and start another potential rally. That's if you can hold this trading range. If not, you would be going down further. Let's go ahead and jump over to 8-hour time frame. 8-hour time frame, you can see same exact situation here. Now you're 5 and 21 for your volume weighted moving average. Remember, I use these for bullish and bearish crossovers. These are TGMA, trend gradient moving averages. You can check these out on Fractal Trade 15's page. Excellent programmer. These are free. We're right now, just like I said, we're at the 0.5, 23,412, and your 200, 233 are just above you here, just below the 618, okay? So, again, this is your first level of where you could get to 24,049 if you stay bullish. You have a little fat, little cloud, but it is a fat Kumo cloud that does thin out over here. This is the 8-hour time frame. Money flow is back testing that median line, okay? You're back testing that median line, losing the force behind the move. This could easily flip bearish, and you would have that double top structure here as well on the 8-hour time frame if you start rolling back over. We didn't cover the money flow on the daily, so let's do that really quickly. See what we got here. Money flow is still bullish. I mean, you're bullish. You're not overbought, but you're just kind of flat right now. Elder's Force is crossing into bullish territory. So, like I said, you could easily come up to that 618. Beyond that, you got to have some velocity. You're going into the heart of resistance. Let's look at this on the 4-hour. Bounce over here. So the 4-hour time frame, guys, a couple different things going on here. We do have our money flow, as you can see, going into overbought territory, losing the velocity to move on the Elder's Force. We did pump through the cloud here. We fell into our support cloud, back tested our 200 and our volume weighted 233. Our 233 EMA is up here. We pumped above it. But again, Kumo twist, guys. You guys know these are always targets. Look how thin this support cloud is. It's a resistance cloud, but you're above it, so it's support. Look how thin that is. And then just keep in mind, you can always fall through these areas quite easily. So you want to see if you don't roll over like this. And again, that's going to be predicated on what happens with that GDP report in my mind. Let's go ahead and jump over to the indices really quickly, guys. I want to show you this on a 3-day chart. I don't focus as much on the volume for Bitcoin because it is tied so heavily to the Russell, as you guys know. They both made their all-time high within 48 hours of each other, and they are both below the weekly 200, 233. They're in the same exact position, okay? So looking at the Russell, I wanted to show you this. This is so easy to see on the 3-day chart. So looking at the 3-day chart, guys, look at your volume. Volume divergence is very evident here. You see the volume, you see the price rising up, and then look at your volume from that same candle, okay? That volume, and this is all, keep in mind, this is VSAs. This is volume spread analysis. This doesn't show buying and selling candles. It shows the force of the move, but the candle size is accurate. So this is very low volume. Here's your average volume bars up here, if this green line. Very low volume, and you can see the price rising. As a matter of fact, you pull up your money flow, you have divergence with your money flow. Remember, money flow is volume weighted RSI, okay? You have bearish divergence here for your money flow. That is going down. Price is going up, as you can see, and volume is going down. So this shows me that you should be making a top. Now, this can go on for a while. Remember, if you have people, retail specifically, willing to pay higher prices, you will get price ascension. But you got volume divergence, money flow divergence, and price divergence, okay? And it's all bearish. This looks to me like it will be rolling over. Same with all the other indices, okay? Looking at the Russell here on the daily, pumping into the cloud. Here's your 100-day moving average. You got up to the 1618, and then you fell below it at 1848. I want to see what happens with this GDP report tomorrow, and then I'm going to be looking to put out some trades that you can access through our Discord and through our Telegram. But I want to see what this report says tomorrow, okay? If it's bullish, if it's bearish, and how the market reacts to it. Again, you can see the volume divergence quite easily here from this price ascension. So this looks like it should roll over, and if you do start falling down, we'll be utilizing these fibs. Let's go ahead and jump over to the Nasdaq. Keep this going quick for you guys. It is late here. Nasdaq, we pumped up to the 1414 again. So we had a 4.5% face melter today, okay? A ripper up, and you can see that in this candle, but all you did was back test where you got to before, which was 12,674. So just like with Bitcoin, you're printing the first part of your double top, okay? If you do fall back down, again, the cloud does get thinner. Okay, it does get thinner out here in the end of August, early September. So look, this to me, again, looking at my money flow, back testing the median line, this could easily turn back down. Looking at the Elder's Force, losing the velocity to the move. If this report comes in negative, I think you give up some of this pump, and maybe you can hold this trading range. We'll see if you can hold this trading range. If you can, then you could potentially wrap around here like we've done so many times in these asset classes and then punch through here. That could be a big rally. But remember, specifically for the Nasdaq and the S&P, I'm looking at that weekly 200, which again is about 10% below where current price is, give or take a percent, okay? It's about 10% below, so that's the move that I'm looking for to get that big rally. No Fed meeting here in August, so you have some time to rally going into September, but I think we're going to give up some of this move if that GDP report does come in negative. Looking at the 8-hour time frame, all of these indices are like this. You have your 200, 233. This is your battleground. As you guys know, the Nasdaq likes to do this, split the moving averages and then make a shape. Okay, it does it over and over again, but we'll see if we have this velocity. Looking at your money flow, you are bearish. Elder's Force is retracing, going more towards the bearish side as well. Money flow is very important here, guys. You got this big pump up, not represented in the candle. Okay, you got divergence here with the money flow, bearish divergence. So that big 4.5% move today, you actually have less money flow. Remember, money flow does a price calculation with volume, where RSI only does a price calculation. So you don't have the volume supporting this move. Again, reminiscent. You could easily be making a top, okay? Reminiscent of this previous move over here. Couldn't finish my thought. Let's look at the stocks 50 real quick, European. So you got up to the 1618 as well, 3622. We'll see if you start making a top here and then look to make some type of shape as well. Jump over to the 8-hour time frame. 8-hour time frame, splitting the moving averages, your 200, 233. This is the European index, but they're all very tied together, as you can see, okay? A lot of the money's in the same place. You do have a bullish cross on your 5 and 21. Struggling up here on top of Wyckoff. Money flow's coming down to test the median line to see if it's going to go bearish or not. Printed a double top here on your EFI. Just something else to watch if you do want to trade that index. Looking at the S&P, guys, on the daily, on top of Wyckoff, again, this normally, you made your cup structure, you got your little pump up, but it kind of stalled out, okay? Normally, this is very bullish. It's not very bullish when you have no volume to support the move. Now, you do have the money flow coming up to test the median line, but again, this could easily get rejected here. Have to watch that. Tied heavily, not to keep repeating myself, to this GDP print tomorrow, guys. Got to watch that and see what happens. Your 100 is above you. 4,100 is a target I've had for a long time. We got the 4,000 magical number. We're at 4,011. If we do move up more, I'm looking at 4,100. Your 200 and 233 are above you, respectively, at almost 4,200 and 4,350. I don't see it getting that high with this type of volume. If we had this type of volume, yes, I could see these targets being met. This type of volume on the indices, I don't see that at all. But, you know, again, got to see how the market reacts. Looking at the 8-hour time frame, you're splitting your 200, 233, just like everything else. But this move up, You have money flow divergence, okay? This big move up today is not represented in the volume at all. Volume divergence across all the indices tends to make tops. If you get more euphoria, you can go up higher, but if volume does not kick in, you will be making a top and you will be rolling back over. You got to the 1618 on our Fibonacci projection across the board on a lot of these indices, okay? This is 4014. You can see you did hit it. All right, guys, so tune in tomorrow. Going to make a video, going to go over that GDP report, and let's get the market reaction. Guys, I'll answer your comments as always, and if you're listening to this in the morning with a cup of coffee, hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys soon, everybody.